The 2010 Victory Hammer. Being a Polaris brand in full growth, Victory needs to revise their models as thorough and as often as possible in order to maintain their ascendant trend, but the thing is that their models are pretty good already, and so we often end up talking about some new color schemes and that's pretty much it. But this is not the case because Victory's modern American muscle bike, the Hammer, is in for redefining its class. With 3 models available, the Hammer, Hammer S and Hammer 8 Ball, and 97 horsepower, 113 foot-pounds of torque, no bad boy will want to stay away from any of these models for too long. Introduction. 97 HP fuel-injected V-twin engine. For the simple and special Hammer models, Victory uses the same 106C, 1731 cc, 4-stroke 50 degrees Freedom V-twin engine as well as their 6-speed overdrive transmission. These two features already qualify the Hammer and Hammer South both as boulevard cruising machines and powerful, efficient open-road companions, but there's actually more to these bikes than just this. For instance, the wheelbase measures 65.7 inches, 1,669 mm, and the seat is positioned 26.5 inches, 673 mm from the ground, allowing the average-sized rider to stay in control of his ride at all times. The inverted forks meet the frame at a 32.7-degree rake angle, while the trail is of 5.5 inches, 140 mm, both these figures being meant to establish a thin line between proper handling and custom looks. Also, both models feature the same braking system composed from two 300 mm floating rotors with 4-piston caliper up front and from a 300 mm floating rotor with 2-piston caliper at the rear. Like on most Victory cruisers and customs, the 43 mm fork offers 5.1 inches, 130 mm of travel, while the rear end's shocks offer a 3.9 inches, 100 mm distance of travel, more than enough considering the category. The main difference between the two customs starts at the end of both the front and rear suspension, where on the Hammer you will find a pair of black Stingray wheels and on the Hammer S a pair of slightly lighter X-Factor custom wheels. This last model is also painted to look more like a drag bike, but we'll have to leave this for the exterior section of our review. Meanwhile, we've been peeking at the all-new 2010 Victory Hammer 8 Ball and came to a sudden, premature conclusion that this is la crème de la crème. This bike is designed to impress from every angle and also to offer a comfier riding position. On this model, the Freedom V-twin engine displaces 100C, 1634 cc and produces 85 horsepower and 106 ft-lb of torque. This is an entirely blacked-out engine staying in tone with the bike's color and muscular appearance. The tranny only offers 5 speeds and we reckon that despite the engine being slightly smaller and less powerful, this keeps things lively and overall performance similar to that of the standard model. The only disadvantage will most likely stand out while riding down the open road, where the lacking 6th speed will be missed. Other than that, you're in for one hell of a ride. Actually, the 8-ball seat is positioned 0.5 inches lower than on the two previous models and the footpegs are brought 2.25 inches closer to the rider, allowing for a much more natural riding position and enabling riders to cover up more miles. You also get an 18-inch front wheel, which is a nice thing to have on a bike claimed to be special. History. Competition. Harley-Davidson has prepped up 3 VRSC models for 2010 and they all go against one of Victory's Hammer models. The Harley-Davidson V-Rod can easily be compared with the standard Hammer, the V-Rod muscle goes against the Hammer S, while the Night Rod Special is 8 Ball's competitor. Now, all these Harley models that we mentioned are being powered by the 76.28C, 1250 cc, liquid-cooled, Revolution, 60-degree V-twin engine, which is coupled to a 5-speed transmission on all of them. While this might sound inappropriate to put against Victory's large displacement, air-cooled V-twin, we'll just remind you about the great potential laying in the fairly small for the category engine by linking to our 2010 Roar 1250 SC article. This 180 horsepower American superbike started with a V-Rod engine, so no underestimations please. Exterior. All three Victory hammers are clean-looking bikes with a sense of style, and the fact that you can easily make a difference among them from the very first glance shows how the Polaris brand isn't short of design ideas. For instance, the blue ice with extreme graphics stands for the simple hammer, which also features the 250mm rear tire, around which designers contoured a chopped rear fender. From it, the passenger cowl is removable, so it's all a matter of style meets practicality. Despite being a custom, you get both speedometer and tachometer mounted right above the headlight, and they are very easy to read without having to take your eyes from the road for too much time. Those features are also found on the 2010 Victory Hammer S, but this model will most likely stand out thanks to the X-Factor custom painted wheels, 18-inch up front, the custom bucket-style headlight, blacked-out straight-cut exhaust, and the many other black components. Also, the boardwalk blue with white racing stripes, suede black and white with red stripe color schemes available this year turn the Hammer S into an even meaner-looking muscle bike. The new Victory Hammer 8 Ball is the meanest approach towards the same custom bike idea. On it, there are even more blacked-out pieces, and the color of the bike itself is solid black. Still, you do get a fair share of chrome, see the exhaust, classic headlight and instruments. Press reviews. The Victory 50° V-twin was always modern and stompy enough to embarrass Harley's old warhorses with oodle of grunt. Now, in the Victory Hammer, it looks the part too. MCN. The engine pushes really hard right up to the RPM limit, seemingly harder than the other models we rode the same day, which leads us to believe that engineers may have tweaked the electronics, or mounted a lighter flywheel, for the sportier Hammer S, despite not admitting to anything. Moto 123. The hammer turns in without much effort, but the inside handlebar requires constant pressure in the turns to maintain the bike's arc. It does, after all, still carry a claimed 669 pounds of dry weight around, and the combination of mass in motion and a big tire mean that the motorcycle prefers being upright over leaning. Motorcycle USA. The Hammer and Hammer S offer equally competent suspension and comfortable rider ergos. Just don't be surprised when you get Popeye forearms after blasting the freeway at anything over 80 miles per hour. Motorcycle. For most riders, that small bit of vibration will be a precious small price to pay for the value inherent in Victory's new for 2008 Kingpin 8 Ball. Victory worked hard to retain the Kingpin's inherent goodness, its soul, if you will, paring back a little here and there, then drenching the whole works in I'm Bad Black. Motorcycle Cruiser. Price. While the 2010 Victory Hammer comes with an MSRP of $18,999 and the Hammer S an $18,499 Victory does offer the 8-ball model for only a $14,499 starting price, which turns it into the solution for those not willing to go full length for a muscle bike. So I guess this isn't the king of the lineup, but it looks bad and it's cheap, enough to make it sell. Conclusion. Being dedicated to building cruisers, customs and tourers, Victory manages to easily diversify their lineup with similar and yet different models, machines that meet the taste and performance demands of different riders without the need to inspire from other manufacturers. This does make them leaders when it comes to the new American muscle bike style. Specifications. Engine and transmission. Engine type 4-stroke 50° V-twin. Cooling type air oil. Displacement 106 c, 1731 cc, 100 c, 1634 cc on the 8 ball. Bore X stroke 101 by 108 mm, 101 by 102 mm on the 8 ball. Compression ratio 9.4, 1, 8.7, 1 on the 8 ball. Valve train, single overhead camshafts with 4 valves per cylinder, self-adjusting cam chains, hydraulic lifters. Fuel system, electronic fuel injection with dual 45 mm throttle body. Fuel capacity, 4.5 gallons, 17.0 LTR. Exhaust, staggered/cut dual exhaust with crossover. Oil capacity, 5.0 quarts, 4.75 LTR. Charging system, 38 amps max output. Battery, 12 volts, 18 amp hours. Primary drive, gear drive with torque compensator. Clutch, wet, multi-plate. Transmission, 6-speed overdrive constant mesh, 5-speed constant mesh on the 8-ball. Final drive, carbon fiber reinforced belt. Chassis and dimensions. Front suspension, inverted cartridge telescopic fork, 43 mm diameter, 5.1 in 130 mm travel. Rear suspension, single, mono-tube gas, cast aluminum with rising rate linkage, 3.9 in, 100 mm travel, preload adjustable spring front brake, dual 300 mm floating rotor with 4-piston caliper rear brake, 300 mm floating rotor with 2-piston caliper front wheel, 18 by 3.5 in rear wheel, 18 by 8.5 in front tire, 130/70 R18 Dunlop Elite 3 rear tire, 250/40 R18 Dunlop Elite 3 length, 93.1 in, 2,366 mm wheelbase, 65.7 in, 1,669 mm seat height, 26.5 in, 673 mm, 26 in, 660 mm on the 8-ball ground clearance, 5.8 in, 148 mm, 5.3 in, 135 mm on the 8-ball rake trail, 32.7 degrees, 5.5 in, 140 mm dry weight, 672 pounds, 305 kilograms GVWR, 1,173 pounds, 533 kilograms. Features and benefits. 106 cubic inch Freedom V-twin. This 106c, 1,731 cc Freedom engine V-twin has stage 2 cams and delivers 97 HP and 113 ft-lbs of torque. Electronic fuel injection keeps it smooth and efficient, so you enjoy pure power. 6-speed overdrive transmission. There's smooth shifting through the grates, and in 6th, which is a true overdrive, the RPMs drop for smooth, efficient highway cruising. Plus, there's still power for passing without downshifting. Removable passenger cowl. Where's the passenger seat? Right under the stylish, removable cowl that complements the bike's styling and keeps the passenger pad under wraps until it's time for two-up riding. Chopped rear fender. The stylish Hammer S rear fender holds a flush-mounted taillight, and the fender is chopped in a sport-inspired manner to show off the impressive 250 mm rear tire. Super bright LED taillight. The leader of the pack, the Hammer S, needs a taillight that is easy to follow, this in the one. It is exceptionally bright and super stylish with its smart design and flush mounting. 0.250 mm rear tire. Roll smooth and roll in style on this 250 mm rear tire. It was developed jointly by Victory engineers and Dunlop tire technicians to provide excellent performance and a great ride. Multi-LED taillight. The leader of the pack needs a taillight that is easy to follow, this in the one. It is exceptionally bright and super stylish with its smart design and flush mounting. Speedometer and tachometer. A chrome bracket holds the speedo and tach side by side for easy to read, heads-up viewing of the bike's operating data. Blacked out custom detail with its distinctive Hammer S styling, paint and custom wheels. This bike doesn't need a lot of chrome, so many components are blacked out, putting the painted bodywork in the spotlight. Custom headlight for total integration of the bike's custom styling. The headlight bucket features elements of the bike's paint scheme, so the color treatment extends the full length of the bike. Inverted front fork. The inverted cartridge telescopic fork has 5.1 130 mm of bump-swallowing travel and provides a Hammer S rider with smooth, easy steering, in town and on the open road. Premium dual-disc brakes. Enjoy consistently outstanding braking with these dual 300 mm floating rotors equipped with 4-piston calipers. They provide sure stopping that inspires confident riding. Victory Hammer S special features. 0.18-inch front wheel. This stylish 18-inch wheel has a tire that puts some real meat on the road. It holds the road well, inspiring confidence and providing easy, natural handling. Custom painted wheels. The X Factor custom wheels are lightweight and engineered for premium performance. The suede black-white model has black wheels, while the boardwalk blue model has blue wheels. Victory Hammer 8-ball. Blacked out 100 cubic inch Freedom V-twin. This stealthy-looking 100C, 1634cc engine delivers 85 horsepower and 106 ft-lb of torque, ample power for city sprints and highway cruising. Electronic fuel injection keeps it smooth and efficient. 5-speed transmission. Enjoy smooth, easy shifting with this proven, reliable 5-speed transmission. Multi-LED taillight. The leader of the pack needs a taillight that is easy to follow, this in the one. It is exceptionally bright and super stylish with its smart design and flush mounting. Blacked out bars. These handlebars are blacked out to complement the 8-ball styling treatment, and their design gives a rider natural leverage for easy steering. Repositioned foot pegs 2.25 inches back. The lower controls are positioned closer to the rider and slightly higher, putting them easy in reach, regardless of inseam length. The result is confident control and comfortable riding. Classic headlight. The styling of this headlight is classic and straightforward, and the illumination it provides is effective at lighting up the way for great cruising. Black Stingray wheels. Wheels need to look good standing still, and roll with reliable precision when the bike's in motion. These wheels do it all, showing style when parked and rolling smooth and true on the open road. New, lowered seat 1.3 lower. The lowered seat and new, rearward positioning of the hand and foot controls put a rider in a comfortable position to enjoy the ride and confidently stay in command on the open road. Smooth, stylish 250mm rear tire. Roll smooth and roll in style on this 250mm rear tire. It was developed jointly by Victory engineers and Dunlop tire technicians to provide excellent performance and a great ride. New, lowered seat 0.5 lower. The lowered seat helps a rider's legs stretch to the controls and the ground, and it puts a rider in a comfortable position to enjoy the ride and confidently stay in command on the open road. Removable passenger cowl. Where's the passenger seat? Right under the stylish, removable cowl that complements the bike's styling and keeps the passenger pad under wraps until it's time for two-up riding. Inverted front fork. The inverted cartridge telescopic fork has 5.1 130mm of bump-swallowing travel and provides a Hammer 8-ball rider with smooth, easy steering, in town and on the open road. 18-inch front wheel. This stylish 18-inch wheel has a tire that puts some real meat on the road. It holds the road well, inspiring confidence and providing easy, natural handling.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.